My wife and I was down in Ixtapa a couple of years ago, and we decided to take a sunset cruise. And so we went over to Zihuatanejo, which is the neighboring town, and we're at Zihuatanejo Bay waiting to get on this trimaran, which is a big sail ship to go out on the sunset cruise. As we're standing in the line, there's an elderly couple standing behind us, and the gentleman has a cane. And the crew members put up about 1.5 foot by 5 or 6 foot plank to get us off of where we were onto the boat. And you could just tell the fear of God that was going through this lady's face as we were doing that. And so as we got ready to get on the boat, I just turned around to her and I said, hey, why don't you take my hand and I'll help you. And as you get halfway across, take the crew member's hand, and then you'll be able to get on the boat and you'll be safe. Don't worry about it. And I helped her and her husband onto the boat. So we go out on our sunset cruise, and as we're coming back to the bay, the lady walks up to me, and she's got a pad about like this. And she says, I've been over there writing your letter for the last half hour. And she says, I finally decided to come over here and just talk to you. And she had this whole front page and the majority of the back page of this notepad filled out. She said, do you remember who I am? I said, you're the couple that was behind me that I helped onto the boat. And she had this huge smile and look of gratitude on her face. And to me, when I thought about that later, I thought, you know, it's so amazing that all I did was something that everybody would typically do. You're helping someone onto the boat. I'm doing nothing out of the ordinary. It's just a simple act of kindness. But yet in life, we get going 100 miles an hour, and I'm as guilty of this as anybody else, and we forget just to take some time to make sure that we can do things that put smiles on other people's faces. So one of the things I encourage people to do on a regular basis is simple acts of kindness, which is tell somebody, you know, I like your hair, I like what you're wearing, congratulations on this, congratulations on your kids, congratulations on anything going on in their life. Buy, you know, at McDonald's, the meal for the person behind you. Buy coffee at Starbucks for the person behind you. You know, you can do these simple acts of kindness in a matter of a minute. It doesn't take any time as you're walking down the hall and you see somebody just to say something nice to them. And the byproduct of that is that you change the environment that surrounds you. You, in many cases, put a smile on the faces of that person that was having a bad day. Byproduct of that is you put a smile on your face and everybody around you is more positive. So this lady and I continued to talk, and she spent about 20 minutes sitting there talking to me. And she had tears coming down her face, and I had tears in my eyes. And the conversation is a conversation that I'll never forget as long as I live. I literally did not sleep that night. I mean, 5 minutes of sleep would have been the most I had. I tossed, I turned, and I could not get this conversation out of my head. This lady said, I'm 91 years old, and my husband's 93, and as you can tell, he's not getting around very well. And as we go back to the States, we're going to move into a retirement center. This is the last vacation that we're ever going to take. We've been coming down here for the last 30 years, and we've always been bringing one of our kids with us, and that's our kids over there, and they're about 70 years old, which is, I guess, the reason that I'm helping them on the boat versus the kids helping them on the boat. And that night, and I get chills right now even just thinking about this conversation again, that night I thought, my God, you know, we cannot take life for granted. We need to live our life with intention. That we do not know when we've took our last boat trip. We do not know when we've took our last vacation. That tomorrow is not a given. So many of us in life try to put off, you know, something that we're going to do next week, next month, next year, and then we never get around to it. So I encourage people, when you work hard, be focused and get done what you got to do. But when you play hard. Make sure that things that are important to you, things that are on your bucket list, you get to them and don't put them off to tomorrow, because sometimes tomorrow doesn't come.